The following files have been classified top secret by order of the administrator. Warning: any non-authorized personnel accessing this file will be immediately terminated through Berriman-Langford mimetic kill agent. Scrolling down without proper mimetic inoculation will result in immediate cardiac arrest followed by death. You have been warned. Mimetic kill agent activated. Continued life signs confirmed. Removing safety interlocks. Welcome, authorized personnel. Please select your desired file. Item number SCP-023. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-023 is to be contained in a standard 5 by 5 meters containment unit. Update: SCP-023 is to be contained in a walled-off intersection of 2 corridors at Site Redacted, with at least 3 meters of space in each direction, and false doors at 3 of the 4 ends, in addition to the real door. Security cameras will be placed and maintained above all 4 doors. At all times, SCP-023's eye sockets are to be filled with spherical inserts made of hard rubber. Eye inserts must be replaced as they degrade. Degradation can be monitored by measuring the brightness of the burning effect as observed by security footage. Brightness greater than 12 candela requires that the inserts be replaced within 12 hours. Eye inserts are only to be replaced individually and only after the sun has completely set. Personnel are not to look directly into eye sockets of SCP-023 at any time. Following Incident 023-27, all reflective surfaces, including displays, monitors, and eyewear of any sort are not permitted within 30 meters of SCP-023's cell. This includes monitors linked to security cameras within its enclosure. Security personnel posted at checkpoints outside both corridors will enforce and adhere to this measure. Experimentation involving SCP-023 has been suspended indefinitely. Description: SCP-023 is a large, sexless shaggy canine, 1.5 meters at the shoulder, with black fur. It has bright orange-red eyes and prominent teeth. See Incident Report 023-26. Anytime an individual makes eye contact with SCP-023, either that person or a member of their immediate family will die exactly 1 year after eye contact is broken. Research into the method of selection is incomplete due to a moratorium on experiments, but the available data suggests that having a larger immediate family lessens the chance of the individual making eye contact themselves dying, and neither a pattern nor a preference in victim types have been found. This may indicate that SCP-023's victim is designated entirely at random, but it is unknown whether this selection occurs at the beginning or at the end of the 1-year time period. Attempts to terminate an individual who has made eye contact with SCP-023 and their entire immediate family before the 1-year time period has ended data expunged. Autopsies of individuals killed by SCP-023's effects show that, while outwardly appearing unharmed, their remains have been filled in with highly compacted ash, including but not limited to all organ systems and the circulatory system. Muscle tissue, bones, and brain tissue universally show signs of exposure to temperatures above redacted degrees Celsius. If not contained in a setting that at least superficially resembles a crossroads, SCP-023 will phase through walls to get to the nearest suitable location, incinerating all materials it passes through. SCP-023 was first brought to the Foundation's attention when it attacked a church in Redacted while it was in session, killing Redacted civilians directly and Redacted as a result of eye contact. Following retrieval of SCP-023, Class B amnestics were administered to all witnesses and surviving victims. The incident was covered up as a case of arson. Addendum 023-001. SCP-023 broke containment on Redacted by passing through its cell wall. Incident 023-01. SCP-23 was later discovered at the intersection of 2 corridors elsewhere on Site Redacted. Agent Redacted noted SCP-023's similarity to a Redacted. Special containment procedures for SCP-023 updated. Assistant Researcher Redacted issued a reprimand for negligence. Addendum 023-002. SCP-023 has been responsible for the deaths of Redacted personnel and Redacted civilians since it was first brought into containment on 10/12, Redacted 94. Addendum 23-003. Request for reclassification to Keter pending. Addendum 023-004. Due to both anomalies focusing on specific geographic spaces, their destructive capabilities, and canine appearance, it is possible that SCP-1111-1 may be a variant of the same phenomenon observed in SCP-023, or vice versa. Investigation into the origin of both anomalies is ongoing. Due to the inability to capture SCP-1111-1 for study, investigations are currently focused on SCP-023. Incident Report 023-026. SCP involved SCP-023. Personnel involved Dr. Redacted 5D Class Personnel. Date Redacted to Redacted. Location Site Redacted. Description: in an attempt to curtail the danger posed by SCP-023, Dr. Redacted has approved the removal of both 023's eyes and teeth. Immediately after both its eyes were removed, SCP-023 breached security by vanishing completely. SCP-023 was reobtained on a stretch of interstate Redacted at 4:37 p.m. and brought back into containment, where D-Class personnel finished pulling out its teeth. While the total number of civilians exposed to SCP-023 during this period is unknown, death record monitoring has tied 9 civilian deaths to this incident. Timestamps confirmed over the course of the next 48 hours that SCP-023 vanished only while the sun was visible in the sky from outside Site Redacted. Addendum 023-026-1. As of Redacted, Dr. Redacted has been suspended pending disciplinary review for contributing to, if not being directly responsible for, Incident 023-026. Dr. Redacted is now in charge of SCP-023. The increased difficulties in containment that have been incurred as a result of Dr. Redacted should serve to remind all personnel of the Foundation's purpose: secure, contain, and protect. Research, experimentation, convenience, and even the safety of Foundation personnel are secondary concerns. We are not working to protect ourselves. 05-Redacted. Addendum 023-026-2, a total of redacted bodies with a time of death exactly 1 year after Incident 023-26 have been identified as consistent with SCP-023 exposure. Incident 023-27. SCP involved SCP-023. Personnel involved Dr. Redacted, data expunged. Date redacted. Location Site Redacted. Description: timeline of events. 10 seconds, a pair of glass eyeballs are inserted into the eye sockets of SCP-023 by 2D class personnel. 15 seconds, glass eyes take on an orange-red glow, similar to what SCP-023's real eyes looked like before removal. 3 minutes 13 seconds, molten glass begins to run out of SCP-023's eye sockets. 5 minutes 54 seconds, data expunged appear on all lenses, windows, mirrors, monitors, and glass surfaces at Site Redacted. 6 minutes 12 seconds, evacuation of Site Redacted ordered. 6 hours 54 minutes 7 seconds, sun visible over horizon. D-Class personnel sent into check area around SCP-023's enclosure. Data expunged gone. Only trace of SCP-023 is a burnt section of floor around a puddle of colored glass. Personal log of Dr. Redacted. Date redacted.
It's my fault. I have doomed my research team and possibly the rest of the facility. All that's left is to keep trying. We must contain SCP-023.
Note, unredacted, 1 year after Incident 023-27, redacted personnel were interred in an unmarked mass grave outside Site Redacted.
The passions of the dead can be vast and mighty, but we are not all powerful. There are things I can never see. There are things I can never touch. There are things I can never overpower. Because of that, there are many things I can never protect my children who birthed me from. Because of that, oftentimes they die in bitterness and pain. Because of that, their deaths can also birth hates, large and small. Hates are things I can see and touch. I must see and touch them, because my children who birthed me cannot. I must protect my children who birthed me where I can. Just as my strange brethren are driven to curse them, I do not have the power to unmake hates. The best I can do is bind them to a seal made from things that my children who birthed me can see and touch. The truth of our nature is all we have and are, and denial of that truth is denial of our power, but, more importantly, my children who birthed me can guard themselves against what they can see and touch. The form of a ladybird beetle or butterfly is a fine seal for small hates. In a seal of that size, it is easy for me to reduce the power of their curses to almost nothing. The larger seals needed to hold larger hates are more difficult. A hate sealed as a cat can still cause sickness and misfortune. Then there are vast hates, birthed from wars and plagues that kill together many of my children who birthed me. There are few loves vast enough to deny the truth of their nature, but I have tried once. It was a hate birthed out of the smoldering rage in the hearts of so many who died knowing that their bodies would be burned together in a pit of pestilence and anonymity. I rarely call upon the power of the light that brings life to create a seal, but there was little choice against a hate natured so strongly of death. The weakest part of any seal is always in the eyes, because they are the windows to the soul. My children who birthed me only believe in that as a concept. But concepts are far more real to my brethren, whether they are strange or not, and I than what my children who birthed me would think of as concrete. To line up the windows is to make an open path between a soul and the most vile curse a sealed hate can still inflict. I used every method I knew to reinforce the seal's eyes, but even then I could not stop it from setting a cause of death in anyone it met gazes with. My blessing could only delay the curse's full effects for a single cycle around the light that brings life. My misguided children, why did you take its eyes?
SCP reads and content relating to the SCP Foundation, including the SCP Foundation logo, is licensed under Creative Commons Share-alike 3.0 and all concepts originate from scpwiki.com and its authors. This video, being derived from this content, is hereby also released under Creative Commons Share-alike 3.0. This reading is based off of Incident Report 023-026, Incident 023-27, and Mother's Love by Pig Catapult. A link to the story can be found in the show notes. The music used in this production was provided by Gravity Sounds. The art used for this production was created by Camila Sanchez Castro. A link to her website can be found in the show notes. Support for SCP Reads and our production is greatly appreciated. Like, follow, and subscribe to stay up to date with our most recent releases. If you would like to directly support this production, a link to our Patreon is in the show notes.